Streetscape update number 11. I'm Kim Best with the City of Goldsboro, and to my left I have Mark Beach. He is the project manager for TA Loving, and to my right I have Julie Metz, and she is the Downtown Development Director for the City of Goldsboro. They're joining me today to give updates about the information and things that are happening downtown Goldsboro in our Streetscape project. Mark, can you give us an update on what we've seen the last couple weeks and what we can look forward to in the coming weeks?
Okay, the last couple weeks we've started in the Walnut Street intersection as far as installing the fountain. We've put in the mechanical vault that's installed. We've put in the reservoir. We're getting ready now to start tying those together with piping and put the sump pump in that goes in to pump out excess water when it gets down in there. So we'll steadily be working on the fountain. You'll see it developing over the next couple weeks, putting the fountain parts in, pieces, the granite and all. We've completed the curb down through the third block. We getting ready to move over to the other side of the third block in front of the fire station, where we'll finish up this week on all the underground utilities, and then we'll start putting in the curb line and sidewalk over there so that that's all ready. The whole third block will be ready to start putting finishes in completely here in probably about two and a half weeks. The first block on the side that we're working on, southbound lane, the pavers are all in all the way down through the first block. We're getting ready to start the second block on pavers. We'll be getting those going in today. And we're in preparation to come in and start running the irrigation lines down that lane. Also put in the low voltage lighting into the tree pits. Go ahead and start setting trees in the tree pits over the next couple weeks, and that's in the first block. And then we're going to go ahead and get the stone graded out so that that's ready for the base coat of paving. And then that'll just transfer right on over into the second block. We'll just keep moving down the line so that we can get the second block ready. And we'll carry the trees on down through there, putting the irrigation that we've put sleeves in, which are just empty pipes between all the tree pits, and so that they can just come in and run the irrigation and the low voltage lighting between the pits, and it makes it easy for them to just go on one end to the other and work it all the way down. Plus we've installed them across the road into the median area. And that's pretty much what's going to be going on the next couple weeks. We are coming in this coming Saturday to remove the last electrical pole that's on the west side of the project. That's on, I believe it's on Walnut Street. And that will free us up to be able to finish all the pavers on the corners too, because those poles were right at the corners of each lot, and that was kind of preventing us from completing that work because of the big slab of concrete that was on the bottom of them. Right. The other thing we'll be doing in the next, within the next couple weeks is relocating the clock there in front of the Gibbons building. Right. And of course it doesn't go very far, it just moves out to the curb line and about 5 feet south. Right. But we will be moving that in the next couple weeks to get that set up, and then we can finish pouring the concrete. We've got an area that we left out so that the pavers can finish there also. So that's what it looks like going on the next couple weeks.
You all have a lot of visual things happening in the next couple weeks, so we'll try to keep it updated. We've shared pictures on the city's Facebook page of where you have put in the mechanical vault for the fountain and various things, and we'll try to keep that updated as much as possible for folks to see. And it was interesting to see how that's going to take place and what a large space underground that takes up.
Mm-hmm. Now in that intersection of Walnut, we just ask that people pay attention when they come driving up to that, because we do have barriers around there which create somewhat of a circle. It almost looks like a roundabout now, but you can still go all the way through on Center Street both ways, but then you have to go around to the right when you're heading down Walnut or coming up Walnut. You go around the circle, but the stop signs and all are still the same. We're just moving the traffic out so that they can work in that area.
In that center part?
And we will probably be making a change there too while we're tying water lines in on one side, and we'll be setting up barriers, so keep an eye out for that, and signs, which will direct traffic both lanes going around the same side of the circle, but we'll have a barrier there to keep them divided, so that we can close off to one side of it and they can set a piece of equipment there to do the work on that side, and then we'll flip it over and do the same thing on the other as they're installing the fountain. So there will be some changes in the traffic pattern there at Walnut Street intersection.
Okay, you definitely need to stay aware of that, because when you're coming down, it is all new. The traffic pattern's a little bit different and unique, so people really need to stay aware of what you all are trying to communicate as to which way to go.
And we're still looking at first to second week of March, being in position to flip the traffic over to the southbound lane and close off the northbound lane and start working on that one.
So 1st of March, we're going to see a flip-flop of the sides. And now tell me, how open will the original side be, the one you're working on now? How open will that be? Will that fence come way over?
The fence will be pretty much, the fence will be moved over to the median. It'll be wide open. You'll be driving down through there, parking, sidewalks will be open.
Perfect.
So.
That's what I thought, but wanted to make sure. I've had quite a few people ask about that.
Okay.
So then we'll move to the other side in March, and you'll work there until a little closer to November.
Right.
Then you'll finish up the middle sections at the very end?
No, that'll all be finishing as we go along. When we can pour the curbs, now the third block, we'll go ahead and be finishing up the middle section there. That'll be the first one that'll finish.
Okay.
But as we're doing the curb lines and finishing off the median with the curb lines, we'll go ahead in there and start finishing them off. Now, we'll probably get started some ahead of that, because those center areas where the seating area is going to be, we're going to go ahead and grade that off, get in there and get the concrete, or the concrete and the brick benches installed, so that we can start working in those areas and finish them off. They won't be open,
right,
but we'll work what we can as we're in that area, and then when we close it off with the curb on the other side, then we can finish it out.
So Julie, let's explain how that works. So we're going to have 3 roundabouts at the 3 different intersections on Center Street. In the middle, we'll have a fountain.
Right.
And then the 2 other roundabouts will have some type of art sculpture in each of those. Okay, so in between each roundabout, there will be
a mid-block crosswalk and a pedestrian gathering area, which will be a little bit larger or wider than the median strip that will go down the center median. So it'll be a public gathering space. Each will be unique in its identity and features. One will have a permanent chessboard so people can play chess out there. Of course, the one in front of City Hall is meant for events or gatherings of sorts. And then I think the one closest to on Chestnut Street is going to have a unique tree in the center of it. So each of them a little different, with spaces for people to sit and gather.
I think that's nice to hear, because we haven't talked a lot about that.
Right.
We've talked more about the 3 roundabouts and what goes inside of those, but to know that there are gathering places in between the roundabouts is a nice feature.
Well, it will be a nice feature, especially since we're going to be having speakers with music piped into the center medians, as well as we'll have free Wi-Fi access. So it'll be a great place for people to be able to sit, listen to music, get access to the internet or whatnot.
Fantastic.
So,
Well, Mark, it sounds like you all are well on your way. March is going to be a big change month for us downtown, for both the merchants and for those of us that work downtown Goldsboro.
Yep.
My goodness. Well, Julie, can you tell us a little more about, as this project has been getting closer and closer to actually happening, and now we're in the midst of it, can you tell us how that's changed the face of business owners and potential business owners downtown? Sure.
I mean, it's been a busy month with everybody actually seeing what's going on. We have had a lot of new people contacting our office with an interest to purchase property or open up a business. In fact, we have somebody coming today who's a local developer that's interested in being a downtown property owner. And we've had, since 2012, since the completion of the first block, we've had 8 new property owners, 8 new investors purchasing properties downtown, and we've also had 9 new property owners, or I should say 9 new homes purchased with 7 unique property owners for the neighborhood plan areas that we've been working in since 2006, and it's all because of the commitment and the projects that are taking place in downtown.
Oh, absolutely.
So, and we've had 29 new businesses open since 2012.
29,
and just this month we've had an accountant firm open up on the 200 block of West Walnut Street, and the Wheels have been renovating the old terrace room, which many people from Goldsboro remember with fond memories. And it's getting ready to open and be available for the public use for rentals for weddings or rehearsal parties or. Yep, and they're going to be able to, different restaurants are going to be able to cater for the event, so yeah.
That will be such a nice addition for those that have not ever been in that room. It is one of the most beautiful rooms and areas that we have in downtown Goldsboro.
It's absolutely gorgeous. In fact, the Praxis Film Festival was this past weekend.
Right.
And they had a reception Saturday night at the Waynesboro House in the lobby, and they had a soft opening of the terrace room. And our office helped the Wheel family prepare a brochure to market and advertise its availability. And they've already got 3 rentals.
That is fantastic. Just to mention that it's happening.
And then I got an email from a family in Mount Olive over the weekend asking how they can get in contact with somebody to secure it for
Do you know when it'll be available?
a rehearsal party. I think they're hoping it'll be fully completed by early March. So
Wow, that's right around the corner.
it is.
My goodness.
But it's beautiful. So we're really excited about those 2 new developments over the past month. And you're talking about the Roundabouts.
Yes.
We started a public arts steering committee, which is a temporary committee, but of people that represent either downtown or the arts community that will be helping the council select how the approach that they want to take to pick and to utilize the spaces for the public art installations in the Roundabouts, and then also to help select which pieces would go in there. So the 2 options are you could go with a rotating temporary installation, so every year or 2 years another piece of art comes in, or you could do a permanent purchase of art. But I think they're leaning towards something temporary that rotates in and out to keep the excitement and interest.
Yeah.
So it's a great group of people from the Arts Council, artists at large, the design committee for the DGDC. And we have 2 people come into our meeting Thursday, one that represents ECU and the artists there to talk about how we might approach it. And then a gentleman that owns a company in Cary that helps find art for different communities. So we'll be exploring that opportunity with a hope that we'll have recommendations to the council in July. So that's been going on.
Things are changing.
And then the other thing that is really exciting that I don't think I've talked about, that's because of the commitment that the city has made to downtown and because of the grant that we received, but also because of the grant we received in 2011, the Main Street Solutions grant to recruit the Arts Council to downtown. We were just notified last month that we are the successful recipient of a SMART Initiative grant, which is a grant that's provided by the North Carolina Arts Council. And it's intended to infuse money into towns that have a commitment towards their downtown and the arts, and it's intended to make the arts be catalysts for economic development opportunities in downtown.
Oh wow!
And we're going to have
we're
going to have our initial meeting regarding that next week with the selected professionals that the North Carolina Arts Council has chosen to work with us. And it's a 3-year grant. It's $30,000 per year for 3 years, so $90,000 in total. So we'll have professionals helping us figure out what that means to us, what it is, what our goals and interests are to use the arts. So there will be more information about that, I'm sure, soon.
Yes. Well, it sounds like there's multiple wheels turning all around, really everything geared towards making our downtown the very best it can be.
Absolutely.
And would you share again how much of an impact downtown makes on our entire city, our entire community? I think sometimes we forget how downtown doesn't just affect the people that live and work right there.
Oh, absolutely not. If you look at the density of taxable properties in downtown versus any other segment of the city, it doesn't take long to realize that the value of the properties in downtown can pull the weight for the properties elsewhere in the city. And so if downtown's not doing its best, the community's not doing its best, just from a tax value standpoint.
Right.
There's been a recent study done headed by a gentleman in Asheville, North Carolina, that not only shows that you can take the cookie cutter, if you take downtown and place it anywhere else in the city, just from a tax value purpose, you're not going to be able to create that value. But also for job growth. Everybody thinks Walmart is the best thing for a community as far as economic development, but they're generally 2-point-some acres. They take up land, and then usually the city has to provide infrastructure to those new Walmarts. And as far as how many people they employ per acre or per space versus a downtown, downtown's always come out ahead. So if you think just from job growth and the investment that the infrastructure is already here. Of course, we're improving ours, but only after 100 years. So it's an investment.
No longer cardboard.
Infrastructure. So if we're not doing our best downtown, we're not doing the best for our entire community.
Exactly.
So we're really excited about all the opportunities that the city is moving forward with for downtown.
Well,
So.
2015 is obviously a great year. A lot
Right.
of great things and unique things and changes are happening in our community. And we're hoping that people will pay attention, will be a part of it, engage, give us your ideas.
Absolutely.
Ask us to be a part of things. We
Right.
have lots of committees and various things happening, and if folks are interested and want to share their interest and their concerns and their ideas, we're open to that.
Absolutely,
Very
and there's an opportunity coming up at the end of this month that's not just for downtown, but the city was able to secure NCDOT funds to pay 80% of the cost to do a wayfinding signage system and design study.
Can you explain a little more about what a wayfinding sign is?
Sure. If you go to like Raleigh, they just implemented a wayfinding signage system. If you'll in the last several years, but it's cues, signage cues to help people navigate to and from points of interest.
For example, like if someone needed to know how to get to the Paramount Theater and they're entering Goldsboro and don't know which way
Right.
to go, or any entity.
Right, and I think anybody that's been to Raleigh recently will tell you that it's easier to navigate. There's directions to City Hall or the Capitol or the library or the museum. It's just,
Right.
and they're intended. A good system will help navigate vehicular traffic from the interstate into your more inner city roads, and then the pedestrian scale when you get closer to in a downtown area, in a
Right.
dense area. And it'll direct you to public parking spaces and just major points of interest. And so we've been interested in doing a study like this for some time, but we've secured the funds this year, and we're having our initial public input meeting on the 24th of February. There's 2 opportunities for you to get your input and that is from 12 to 1 in the large conference room here at City Hall. And then there will be another opportunity from 5 to 7 p.m. That evening in the same location.
And that's what day?
That's February 24th.
Okay.
And our consultants are Ulta Planning and Design out of Durham, and they'll be here. It's an interactive public input opportunity.
Everyone's invited.
Anybody's invited, and you can come at any time during those times. There will be somebody to help guide you through the process and
Perfect.
get your input and your ideas and concerns or anything that else you might want to share. So,
Well, that's awesome. We want to always be able to offer opportunities for people in the come and be a part. Give us your ideas and your information, or just come and hear what's happening.
right.
Hear what is happening around you in your community, because it makes a difference.
Right. So this wayfinding study will be, the greater Goldsboro area
Yes.
is the entire study area, but there will be a focus on that and then a focus on downtown. So there'll be two segments to study, and they'll be similar as far as style and design, but slightly different as well.
So recognizable signs that they are all a part of one big entity.
Right, exactly. So
Wonderful. That's exciting. It's right around the corner.
it is
February
right around
24th.
February 24th.
There you go. And that'll be on the city's website as
It
well,
will.
which is goldsboronc.gov.
Yeah, absolutely.
There we go. All right. Well, thank you guys
All
so
right,
much
thank
for
you.
being with us today and
Thank you.
giving our update number 11. If you want to find out more information about the Streetscape projects, you can visit the city's website, goldsboronc.gov. Click on the Streetscape button. All the videos, past videos, all the detailed information and the history of this project is all right there for you to see. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and you can stay updated with photos of various things happening right here downtown Goldsboro. Thank you so much, everyone, and that's what's happening in your